Are you ready to go?
Yes, let's get this show on the road.
Well, right now, I could tell you Mercury's still retrograde, as you can tell,
Oh, yes.
because it seems like everything I look for, I cannot find because I put it in a safe place. So I don't know. Do you tend to do that too? Before I get started,
Yeah, you have to understand there's really no safe place
well,
because you can never find it.
I went to look for something specifically for the show tonight, which I had seen when I was sorting papers that were from a long time ago, and I thought, this is perfect. Ah, well, it's perfect wherever it is. Whoever's using it must be really enjoying it because I couldn't find it.
I can so resonate. Oh, boy, can I.
So,
It's worse when you have two computers.
what is that?
It's worse when you have two computers. You totally get lost because you
Oh.
can't which one you saved it on.
Well, I was looking for some USB, the little things, you plug in.
Yeah.
But I've saved a bunch of things too. I have like 3 or 4 of them through the last few years. Well, they are also in a safe place.
Well,
yes, they were by my computer for a couple of years. I had them in a little container, and I would have it just sort of behind my computer. Well, one day I said, "Oh, why would I leave them there? Because what if they get lost?" Well, I have no idea what I did with them.
oh
Okay.
my gosh, it's just well, Mercury retrograde will do that to us. You know that, right? We know it, but we have no control over Mercury.
Well, now that Mercury goes direct tomorrow.
Oh,
On I guess the new moon is going to be coming in late in the day, around 11:11 Eastern time, and probably 8:11 your time. And it's an interesting time because it's the new moon is always about. We still are in the full moon phase until that happens. So if you haven't purged anything yet, if you haven't gotten rid of all the things that I talked about for the last 20 million years, about getting rid of things, letting it go already, I don't know what to tell you because everybody is out there doing all this craziness. And have they thought about looking within and trying to going beyond that and going to a place that they can start fresh again? Because you could always, every time the new moon comes up, you have an opportunity to start fresh. And because there were 2 eclipses in July, and this one sort of mimics the one in January, because it was a Leo full moon eclipse, there you go. We have another chance to take a big leap. And does anybody do it? Is anybody trying to do this? I don't know. Are they?
yeah, well, believe me, I'm trying, but I keep finding things that I should have taken care of before, and get rid of it. Do you know what I mean? Like things
Yes.
come up like, I really don't need that. Let me throw that out. I don't really need that. Throw that out. And it's like it's been trying to clean, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere, to tell you the truth. But is this because it's the full moon? There's a full moon in Leo now?
So,
Leo?
are you there?
I'm here. Are you?
Yeah. Because you're breaking up. You're breaking up sort of, but I could hear you.
Okay. That's
But
what I'm moving it.
since the new moon is coming in, okay, it's time to take a look at what you want to really do because it's in Leo, and Leo is about being out there. Being the sun in Leo is more about going out and shining like the sun, or maybe even being like a lion, which is sometimes Leo's. Now I'm talking about the sun in Leo because it's also with the new moon, with the moon in Leo. So the sun in Leo is about, hey, I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to laze around like that lion in the jungle who
Yes.
just likes to sit there and just, what a great day. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he gets up, and the Leo individual gets up. Wherever you have it in your chart, it's going to be, that is where you're going to take action. You want to really work hard, usually work hard. Leos are hard workers,
Yes.
but they do take time to rest. They take time to play, and they take time, if you have your, like the moon in Leo would mean that you might even have a sense of humor every so often this time around. You know, where depending on where, like I said, it falls in your chart. But basically, it's about creating something new. And I know I say this often in my blog, probably every time there's a new moon, I said, so what are you creating this time? Well, this time, you could really put it out there and shine if you really choose to do that.
Right.
So that's a good, something to keep in mind.
Yes, because, well, we are kind of trying to do that too. With everything else that's going on, we are trying to bring something new to this platform. We are trying to incorporate new ideas and have people join us so that we can learn from them and hopefully they can learn from us. And that's called sharing. And that's one of my favorite things to do. And I don't know if it has anything to do with the sign of Leo, but I do know that this is something I want to pursue so that we can all share and learn from each other. And I think that's what's one of the main things that people need to do is share of each other so that we can all kind of work together too and help each other and lift each other. If they're down, lift them up. If they're crying, give them a shoulder, be there. There's so many different ways and positive ways that we can do that. So is that one of the things that this full moon is doing and helping us to get out there?
Yes. Well, first of all, this new moon is conjunct Venus, right with Venus, only a couple degrees away, which means that both the sun and the new moon are there. And that's a major aspect right now with this new moon coming in. And so it's great time for relationships. But, okay, with this moon Venus thing going, money you look at your money, you look at your love, and it could be wonderful, but also squaring Uranus in Taurus, which says, oh, you better stay in the moment and don't start fighting in your relationship. Don't start complaining about what's going on with your money, because if there's something going on with your money, it's going to be unexpected. So just have that in mind. But I'm not going to go negative. I'm going to say, up until now, you should be just going with the going with what is the flow, whether it's in love and money. And if something shifts in a negative way for some reason, well, just get yourself right on track, take care of the issue, and get back on track. Because it's not time to elaborate in this negativity, okay? Right. Because it will take you farther away from where you want to be.
Well, I noticed, too, that in some of the clients I have and relationships of them,
mm-hmm.
It's like there's a power struggle kind of going on, too. Do you sense that around things, too, with this?
Well, I think the power struggle would come from,
Mars, Pluto?
I don't see a power struggle unless you're, the only people that may have power struggles are those that are having, being affected by Pluto. Mm-hmm. Maybe if their Mars is in Aries or their Mars is in Capricorn or even in Libra. And Cancer too, their Mars will be Cancer. If you have some kind of conflict with Pluto and Mars, then the power struggle will definitely show up.
Okay.
Okay. So I don't think it has to do, well, I mean, the Pluto and no, I don't think it has to do with the sun and moon, with the new moon right now. It could have to do with the last eclipse. Okay, that could have brought it about
Okay.
in some ways, because there might be an emotional struggle or even a physical struggle. But I think it's moved. Well, there's an inconjunct between the Mars and the Pluto right now, so that means it's really at this weird place. So we could do anything, or it could do nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I mean, it could happen, and I'm not discarding it. I'm just saying it can happen, but it could happen in a weird way.
Mm. Well, to me, it seems as if the emotions were running high, and then they're trying to grasp hold of them to get hold of it. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, let me get control of this kind of situation.
Mm-hmm.
Calm myself so I can see clearly, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what this full moon? It's full moon, right? That's taking place, or is it the new moon coming? That's tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's Mercury. I'm getting confused now. Help me, Jan.
What do you want? What's your question?
My question is, the next thing that's coming up is Mercury's going direct.
It's hard to you're for some reason you're breaking up, or your mic is like too close or something. I'm not getting all the words.
Okay. Can you hear me better now?
Yes.
Okay. So is Mercury going direct tomorrow?
Yes, it should be.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
what effects are we going to have from that, from coming through that full moon, and now with Venus in Leo?
Well, with Venus, I don't understand what are you saying? No, I'm not sure what you're with Mercury going direct.
Yes.
Okay.
So are things going to clear up or get more muddled?
Well, it should get more clear. It should get clearer because the Mercury's still in the shadow, so it's going to be moving forward. And I'd say give it another week to have things really straighten out. Okay. I'm not saying you can't do anything. Oh, you can do anything you want right now, but I wouldn't have done it before this, okay? But for some reason, I would just say, if you're going to do anything major, I'd wait another week or so, 10 days, just to get out of the shadow of that retrograde.
Okay. Oh, so shadows are no good right now. Oh, my gosh.
No, not quite. And also, I don't know, I just think that there's so much, what should I say, so much negativity, and I don't understand it, but I do understand on some level, but if you're caught in the muck, you're not going to understand it. I mean, unless you really are going to look at it. Yeah. And sometimes, I don't know if you would say this too, but do you find that other people don't always want to take a look at anything? They just want to just ignore it and put it in their back pocket or put it in the closet or whatever they want to do with it.
Yeah, to kind of like browse again in another time kind of thing, like
yeah,
not act on it. But now, when you say shadow, what came to me was that the shadow actually is a view of us. It's an outer view of us, is it not?
The shadow is when Mercury is moving forward and it's still touching on the place where it was retrograde at one time. Mm-hmm. And then once it gets out of the degrees of where it was retrograde, then it's totally out of the shadow. It's moving forward totally. I mean, it's moving forward. It'll be moving forward tomorrow. But the thing is, it still will be in that little shadow that from the past.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, I was speaking about the shadows itself. When we look at a shadow, if we look at our shadow, that's on the outside of us that's being captured. And if that cannot be fairly clean, we should really kind of wait and until we can actually make out us in that shadow. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yes, good point. Good point. Yeah. hmm But on the same token, in a couple weeks, well, Saturn is still retrograde, so if it's hitting anything, it's in Capricorn right now, and that means that if anybody has, what would it be? I guess right now it's around 15 degrees of Capricorn. So I know several individuals who have sun signs around that, where it's going to go back to probably 13 or 12 or something like that. So I don't even want to think about how they're going to feel. And I had an experience. I had an experience today with something, and I thought it didn't even dawn on me. And I thought, uh-oh. Now I see. I was doing some little bit of exploring, and I thought, oh man, this is not a good thing. I hope they just go hide for a little bit. I don't think they can hide, but it's just I knew by the tone of their voice, and it almost pulled me into this very. I think I was mirroring the person in some ways because I thought I was feeling so down.
Oh my goodness!
Do you know what I mean? It was just like I was feeling what they were feeling, but they didn't even realize they were feeling it.
Exactly. Okay? Yes. Yes, but that energy
yes,
surrounds you, and you're just trying to keep that energy out so that you can think.
Well, exactly, and sometimes I feel that it wasn't a bad thing, but it just made me so like, really? I don't want to feel this way. Because you know what I'm saying? I mean, I have enough of my own stuff going on, but I'm thinking, why is this showing me this? And I thought, well, it just shows how energy works. It's a good example.
Yes.
You know?
Those vibrations that are coming from it, and it's such an intense, like it comes at you, and you put your shield up. Let's say you put your shield up, right?
Yes.
And your shield is starting to vibrate, and you're like, oh no! Okay, let's stop this! Stop it!
But that is so true. And also, speaking of retrograde, and I noticed also that Pluto will still be retrograde. Probably through, I'm just thinking here, through August, I guess. I think until October or end of September. I'm not sure. I don't have it in front of me, but I know it goes through another couple months.
Oh my God.
So yeah. So that's I don't know how that fits in your life, but Pluto is.
It's not sitting very well. But because of the awareness of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The awareness of it.
Oh, yes. That's exactly. And if you're aware of it, you think, oh, okay, I understand. All right, Pluto, just go over there and do your thing. Because I don't want to do this right now. But Pluto, if it's in like negative aspect or conflict or something, it's going to he's pulling on you. It's saying, you need to change this. Yeah. And I'm thinking, I don't want to change it right now.
Yeah, because you want to change it, but you really can't change because we don't have that power really to do so. You know what I mean?
That's correct.
So we're helpless in that. And my thing is that, okay, let's stop it here. Let's take a breath, and we'll come back tomorrow on this kind of thing to make it not the word palatable comes through, but that's exactly what we're doing. We're eating energies. So it's like, okay, we need to clear and nourish ourselves to better get a handle on things.
True.
Inner nourishment. People sometimes, I think, when you tell them to meditate, it's like, oh yeah, she's going to tell me to meditate. Like that's going to make everything all better. It really does. Meditation is You can do it through your grounding, through healing of others. Just send it out. If you are over energized, this energy, if you send it out to heal somebody, the universe will take it to who needs it. Okay?
That is so true. That is so true.
Yes. So when this powerful, I mean, that's what I did. As soon as I got done with them, I was like, okay, calm back down, take a moment. I listen to my breathing, I listen to my heart, and I send out beautiful harmony to whoever is open to receiving it, and it brings me right back down to where I'm calm again.
Well, that's great. That is really great.
Yeah.
It took me a while today to do that.
Oh, yeah, it's like you can't do it in a rush. But the thing is that it really does help. And people realize it after they get, like, if you're on a phone call, let's say, okay, with this energy thing, and this person's going off, complaining this and that, and oh my goodness, and you're getting this energy, and you're really trying to stay out of it, but they're bending your shield, and you want them to calm down, so you have to ask them, listen, let's stop right here. And when you end that conversation with that energy going up, I mean, I don't mind being listening to others. You know, I really don't.
I don't either. I love to. I just what should I don't know. It does something really wonderful when I can reach out and whenever people are talking and they say, well, can you share something, or I'll share something. So it's good when you could just have that sharing.
Yes.
So many cannot do that. They don't know how to do that, unfortunately.
Yeah, but you know what? They do to a stranger. If you know the person, okay, and you've known them for a while, and it's like the Niagara Falls of emotions opened up on you. Do you know what I mean?
Right, yes.
And to close that off, you need to separate from that. They need to separate from it, too, because if they're not going to be telling you on the phone, they're going to hang up the phone, and then they're going to go away. But it's a release for them, is it not?
Yes.
To get that energy out. I like cleaning myself. I like to go around cleaning. And, oh, boy, do I need a cleaning in this house. But seriously.
Well, after you do yours, come and do mine.
No.
I'm still looking. I don't know where all my stuff is. Because I was cleaning. See, this is what happens when I clean. There you go. Disappears. Obviously, the Mercury retrograde trickster was here and laughing behind my back, saying, "Oh, she's cleaning and she is sorting and she is putting things and she's not paying attention." Oh, wow! We are so happy for this.
Oh my gosh! I tell you, things should have settled down a little bit with Mercury going direct within another week, right? You said?
No, tomorrow.
Yeah, no, it's going to happen.
Oh, you mean the shadow? I think it should be like in another week or so that it starts to go out of the shadow. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Deal with it, I think. If not, I'm calling you, Dad.
Hey, now wait a minute. Let me think. Maybe it isn't going direct. Well, that would be pretty funny if it wasn't actually going direct.
Did you move away from your mic because you're sounding a little lower?
What's that?
It sounded like you moved away from your mic.
I did. 2 seconds.
Oh, that's right. And that's
now you're monitoring me.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And I just want to say one other thing, okay?
Sure.
And it has nothing to do with the new moon. I just say like one step at a time. That's the only thing. But there's something I read, which I put in my blog, but I'm going to share it right again because we talked about this on here a few like a month or two ago about the 5G antennas.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
okay.
yes.
I just saw something in Switzerland, Geneva, Switzerland. They had just they had turned on the antennas in Geneva, Switzerland. And people started complaining about insomnia, tinnitus, headaches, and tiredness.
Oh, my gosh.
they're saying, oh, there's no fear. It's okay.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just saying.
Yes.
I thought, oh, okay, wonderful.
Okay, they use it may be an awesome kind of thing that they can do because it's helping them to get to more and more people.
Sure.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But the problem is with those health issues that pop up with it. I remember reading something, and this was, I believe it was in Australia, but the birds were dropping from the sky.
I believe it. Yes,
I think
yes, yes. I think I saw that somewhere, or maybe you mentioned it. I don't know, but I remember. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if it's going to do that to the birds, could you imagine what it's going to be doing to us?
Well,
all animals.
Mm-hmm.
All, I mean, we have so many extinctions taking place with animals now that we have to be very, very careful.
Yes.
And I don't really know about this. I don't want to chance it. My research on it is like, no, I'm not going to go this way. And I know that others will. But if my neighbor on the corner has one there, I'm going to fight it, let me tell you. Because they have they don't discuss the health issues.
Mm-hmm.
When they're telling you about this magnificent technology,
true.
It's like, are you kidding me? Are you? And it's like eating food, and then finally come out and they tell you this is no good. This is this and that and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're guinea pigs, and I don't want to be a guinea pig, and I don't want my loved ones to be a guinea pig. And if I have to, I'll definitely will take steps against this because until those health issues are looked into and made where it's not harmful to anything, any living life, you know?
Yes.
And, it's really something very serious, and people aren't aware of it. And we attempted to let them know about some of the things because we did one of the shows on that.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that's very serious. And now they're putting it in diapers, a technology in the diapers.
Yes.
And it's like, no, babies will tell you automatically.
But
if not the babies, the smell.
Yes, but can you imagine that's going to do to children?
Yes, we're talking.
Oh my God.
We're talking about. Yes, and it's in their diapers, of all places. And we're talking about that they're putting this technology where they can test this, not test, but to tell when the baby urinates or defecates or whatever. And is that really needed? Is that really needed? How much attention are you paying to your child? It's like, are you kidding me? What, when they go, the bell's going to ring?
No, the phone is going to buzz.
Oh, my gosh. Give me a break there.
Yeah, that works, huh?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Well, before we go on to the next little thing, I just want to tell people about what we are trying to do, and that is we are looking to have a drawing once a month. And I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to make a page letting you know what each of these readings will consist of. And the people that win, or the person that wins the drawing, they can choose any one of those readings, okay? And they value anywhere from $10 up to, I think it was $125, something like that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit more, but that's fine, whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, but if people want to enter the drawing, they have to enter the drawing by donating anywhere from $5 and up to enter the drawing. And then we will be picking names on the 2nd of every month. Okay, so we will pick a name on the 2nd of every month, and then we will do that reading for that person, because depending on what they ask for, it may take a month, it may not.
Mm-hmm.
We will run the drawing again, and it's all very interesting. One of the things that we didn't have in at first was that numerology, and Janice, you do numerology.
Yep, I
So,
can do
yeah,
it.
yeah, she does the numerology, the Schuster, and astrology. And I don't know what the astrology will consist of. Would it be like maybe a 6 month chart or a personal chart? What?
It could be anything that they want. I mean, it depends. I would say there. I wouldn't go into. It could be a major chart, like a regular
Yes.
chart and interpretation as to what the main parts of it are, what's going on. Or you could do one for like a transit chart, what's going on in your life today, which would be a part of knowing what your regular birth chart is, and then looking at what's happening uh, in regards to what's going, in the planets are where they are today in your life, what's going on in your life today. It could be a transit chart, or it could be a birth chart, or it could be a year chart, a solar return chart, whatever, however you want it. Yeah.
Okay. However you want it, she'll give it to you. And I'm, of course, doing the tarot. I'm doing palm reading. I'm doing yearly forecast. And what else was I doing? I think that was it. Yep, I think so.
And let me just say about the pages of Schuster cards. They are, just a regular house reading, like the 12 houses for the, and you just do it. It's not, you could do it for the year, which it's okay for the year, but I think it's better if you do it for like a 3 or 6 month period. It will give you a little bit more detail.
Mm. Oh, that sounds good.
I mean, you can get detail in the 12-month thing, but if you were looking for something particular, a little closer to the like a 3 month or a 6 month, then it gives you a little. It doesn't give you more information, but it might give you better information.
Yes.
Because sometimes a yearly chart, like we do astrology or anything else, it could be more general. Yes. It depends. Mm-hmm.
Well, it's all guidance, so nothing is etched in stone, but, you take what you can from it, and we hope that it's going to be of help to you. And we would like some feedback on them when the winner gets done with their reading thing, and let us know how we did. We want to continue this, so I want to thank everybody that has already contributed and is in the drawing. And again, it's going to be August 2nd for our first drawing. And I can't wait to see who's going to win this. And it has nothing to do with me being psychic. It's going to be a draw from the hat. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is our topic of from there to here.
Okay, we're going to be right back after this message. Don't go away.
I'm a wild man when it comes to cutting prices. And I'm still a wild man when it comes to cutting prices.
Can we sell you a mattress?
Don't get ripped off buying a mattress. Queen sets starting at $139. Queen Supreme pillow tops at $499. 15-year warranty.
Same day delivery available.
You can shop all over town,
but you won't find a better deal anywhere.
And that's no bull.
Don't have time to shop around? Visit our website at CompleteFurnitureTucson.com.
Complete Furniture. Our name says it all.
Seldom get realized. may sound, when I'm still, things seem to come around. The journey is not ours to control. 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 I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so. I'm glad that it is so. I'm lucky it is so.
How did you get from there to here? What got you started in the Schuster, the astrology, the numerology? What got you started in that direction?
You talking to me?
Yes. We'll
talking
take
about
anybody that comes in. We'll take them in too and see where that's coming from. But go ahead.
That's fine. That's fine. You're basically asking who am I?
Yes. Who are you, Janice?
Can you sing that for me and then I'll tell you?
Who are you? Who are you? The things you get me to do. Go. Oh my gosh.
I'll be brief if I can be. All right. How did I get from there to here?
You thought you were going to ask me first.
Let me tell you something. I fight this daily. Okay.
Okay.
I do. I fight it daily. Oh, do I have to? I don't want to do astrology. Oh gosh, I don't want to do astrology. Stop. Well, something popped up in my chart today, which I looked at briefly, and I thought, what? It's just a couple little things that I never saw before, and I thought, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Why does this always go on? Mm-hmm. It's just these little insights. I keep asking, well, tell me why this is the way it is, and it can go on for months and years, and then one day when I'm not even paying attention, it shows up.
Oh,
but anyway, back in the day, my dear mother, who read me like a book. I mean, I was little. She read me like a book. And I got spanked many times because obviously she knew what I was thinking. And I didn't talk very much as a child. I mean, I spoke when I was given the time to speak, but it wasn't all the time. I was very silent. And she sent me to self-improvement school when I was a senior in high school because I had an edgy attitude.
Oh.
Okay. So from that experience, I grew very, very much. Okay. Even though I didn't want to, I thought, no way. You just want to go out to dinner. You and Dad and my brother want to go out to dinner, and you want to drop me off at the school and pick me up 3 hours later. That's what it was. So anyway, when I was I was finishing up college, and I come home one weekend, and she says to me, Janice. Well, she called me Jan, not Janice back. When she was mad at me, she called me Janice, but basically she called me Jan. Jan, I have a book for you. And I go, she used to tell me I was going to read my life away. Okay, so now she's giving me a book. Okay, that works. Well, it was an astrology book, a very thick astrology book. And I said, what is this? And she says, you need to read this so you can understand others and what's going on in your life. And it was all underlined and notes it's like don't ask me. She never took a course in astrology. She had no clue. She read the book and she notated things. And I thought, oh, okay, you knew something maybe from a past life or what? Where did you get this from? I don't know. Maybe she was a secret astrologer and I didn't know this. I don't know. But anyway.
Astrology?
What's that?
Did she do astrology herself?
No, she didn't do charts, but she knew enough. She read enough of the books.
Uh-huh.
She kept buying astrology books, and she kept reading them.
Uh-huh.
And so she knew the basics. Not basically, not looking at a chart, but the basic understanding of what it meant.
Yes.
Believe me. Mm-hmm. So I did jump into it once I guess it was after I got married and had a couple kids, and a few years later, it was sat there. It moved with me wherever I went. I never looked at it. I looked at it, I thought, oh, I can't do this now. Get away from me. So one day my children were small. One was going elementary school. The other one was still at home and taking naps. And I think, well, I guess I should start looking at this because I wasn't working at the time. And I thought, okay, I'll do this. So long story short, that's where it started. And when I went to, I guess, oh my goodness, probably when I was in graduate school, instead of doing graduate work, I had astrology all over. My husband used to come home and goes, is this work or is this, what is this? Is this your study? Are you studying? I said, no. He goes, oh no, it's astrology, right? I said, yep.
Yeah.
And he walks through the dining room into the other room, the living room, and just shakes his head.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway.
But it drew your attention though. It did catch you and drew your attention.
Oh, it did. It did. And and then one day after I still found charts. I found hand draw. I didn't have a computer. This was a long time ago.
Yes.
Okay. I had a book that told you how to do logarithms. You know, trigonometry and logarithms are needed to figure out by hand.
Oh.
So I had to learn all this stuff in this book and figure out charts by hand.
Oh.
Okay? And I do. I have stacks of them in folders that I did by hand.
Yeah.
So anyway, from there I went to the new me. And then from that day forward, later on in my life, when I got in a different, we moved a few times, we came to a different area, and it was in the back of my life, okay, right now. I wasn't doing a lot of it at that time because I went into, long story short, I went into hypnotherapy, I did past life regressions, I did workshops, doing weight loss and smoking cessation and creative expansion and all that kind of stuff. Got a certificate in holistic health at a local college where I was living, and I did foot reflexology, therapeutic touch. I'm a Reiki master. What else is there? I got my doctorate in spiritual studies.
Wow.
About 14 years ago, and that was a big turning point.
Yeah.
And I've been a member of the DHN, which is the Distant Healing Network, and a group leader back from about probably 20 years ago. And I've been doing this online ever since, sending out cases and sometimes being the case manager for the Distant Healing Network, sending out all these cases to people that do healings. So if you do healings and you want to join the DHN, let me know. Anybody can do that if they either through spiritual prayer or Reiki or any other kind of means of energy healing through the ethers. You're welcome to come and yeah.
Well, I may just pick you up on that. So
seriously.
Okay.
I mean, but that's me. So the rest of it is yours. And I've done readings. Like people will call me 15 minutes before they show up and say, I'm bringing the people over, they want a reading. I go, it'd be like Sunday morning. I would probably want to go to church. I didn't go to church. I would do a reading.
Good.
Or something, you never knew when it was going to happen.
Wow.
So that's me.
Well, you're very, very knowledgeable in it. And
well, let me tell you one thing. The one thing I always want to do is be a radio personality.
Well, we're on our way.
And we'll talk about that another time. We'll talk about that, both of us, another time.
Okay.
Go on. It's your turn.
Oh, it's my telling?
Yes, it is. Go on.
Okay. Oh, my gosh. Okay. What happened was, with me, at the age of 6 years of age, I was in a near-death experience. I was in a horrible bus accident, a city bus. And back in those days, they were like tanks. And I had an out-of-body experience with it. And it since then, like I was only 6 years old, but I was always seeing things and hearing things, and I couldn't make out what it was, and nobody else was hearing it, nobody else was seeing it. There was one incident where I come from a family of 12, okay, and I'm the only one that does this. And at the time, my mom, back in those days, they used to have their friends come to each other's house, you know, and sit and gossip and stuff.
Oh, yes.
Well, I was downstairs playing, and I went upstairs, and this was the first time my mom I realized that something was going on, okay, because when I climbed the stairs, got up to the door, went in, my mom was sitting there with this lady, and I looked at her, and she was crying, bawling, and my mom didn't seem disturbed by it, but this is what I was seeing. So I went up to her, and I started to rub her arm. She had her hands in her lap, and I was rubbing her arm, and I'm saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's all right, everybody's okay, you're going to be fine. And she said, what are you talking about? And my mom said, excuse me a moment. And she took me on the side. She goes, what are you seeing? What are you doing? And I said, well, Ma, she was crying. She was crying a lot. And I just didn't want her to be so sad. And my mom said, okay, you don't say things like this right now. I'll talk to you later. So she went back in and kind of excused me off. And I was very puzzled by that because I was like, Ma, didn't you see her crying? You know, I was questioning myself. And at 6 years of age, and I would also see things about my sisters and my brothers, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to see this, you know? And these things were coming at me. So anyway, I was trying to find out what it was, and my mom was really pretty good with it. She goes, you don't tell people things, tell certain things to people. And what had happened was a week later, her husband died. That lady's husband died.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
I started out getting my cards read. And having gotten my cards read, I knew before she spoke what the cards were saying to me. Okay? Mm-hmm. So that in itself got me started on doing tarot readings. But I had to go to different courses. I had a mentor who helped me through and guided me through, and how she got me to look beyond that. She was a medium, and she was a clairvoyant as well. Mm-hmm. And, she helped guide me through. And I started off with the tarot reading my friends and family because I was getting older then. And then when I had kids, so I was just still doing that. When we'd all get together, they'd want a reading, blah, 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 you know. And then after I had children, I started to do home readings. Okay, I would go to people's houses, and there'd be a group of people there that would like to get their card read. So I did that. I was also a palmist. I turned into palmistry. I mean, I had a hunger for knowledge, hunger for understanding, hunger for, again, energy, vibes. Why am I seeing this? Why, why aren't everybody else? And I've come to learn that because we're all different. And I looked to pursue it. I looked to enhance my abilities because I knew they could be enhanced. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it all came up to that. And what else? It's the palmistry. And recently, I'm going to say about 2, maybe 3 years ago, I started doing the forecasting. Okay, the forecasting is done with a regular deck of cards. We each have our own birth card, if you will. Yeah. And it's done with the regular deck of cards. And just like it's very similar to having an astrological chart done because the planets do play a part in those cards. And each card has a planet that will be activated, right? Okay. Just like my ruler, Saturn's in Capricorn. Okay, so my ruler, when that's activated, that plan will come into effect. And then I write about what that entails. It's really pretty interesting. But so that's where I came off. And when I was doing home parties, the palmistry came in. And I had this book, and I can't remember the name, but I did it on one of the shows. I was teaching a class on the palmistry, and she had the book, and I wrote it down, and you know, if you put it in a safe place, you can't find it.
Yes.
Well, it's there, but this book helped me a lot, along with my paranormal courses that I had taken. So, and I've been doing these for years and years, and it's like, oh my gosh, you know, and it's, I love doing it because in the end, I'm letting others know, okay, see, if I can do this, you can do that. And that's what I love, when they can finally open up their connection, their skill, whatever it may be. But if it's an out of way modality, clairvoyance, whatever it may be, you know, even I love astrology, but I do it so different. My husband learned how to do the astrology in classes, and he would take the classes for me. So when he would come home, that was my thing to do, was to listen to the classes and go along with the books and everything else. So that's kind of like how I learned, but if I look at a chart, I'll look at it differently than he does. And you were saying that back in those days you had to do all this mathematics and everything else. And it was
yes.
I said, I don't have time for that. I was doing my cards, and I was getting exactly what he was telling a client. You know what I mean? It's the same, but it's a different modality. It's the same thing, but it's a different modality. And that's what all of that stuff is. So that's how sprinkles came about. And by the way, I used to be called Rain of Light, okay, because it was like a little drizzle that would come down and sprinkle a little light so people could see better. And then from Rain of Light, I went to Sprinkles of Light, and now I'm just good old Sprinkles.
Well, that's nice. That's really good.
Oh, you think so? I'll trade you places.
Well, you know what's funny is that I want to just inject something here. You mentioned how you had a mentor, like a medium and everything.
Yes.
I had the same thing with the pages of Schuster. That's how I learned. This woman who was lived several houses down the street from me. She did pages of Schuster. I don't know. Her daughter and my daughter their kids were friends, and one day I met her, and she says, well, I said, what are you doing? She says, I'm getting ready. Somebody's coming for a reading. I go, oh, what kind of reading? And she told me, and I said, so she says, do you want to learn? And I go, do I need to? And she goes, well, that's why you came to me. That's why you came. That's why you all of a sudden showed up at my house. You're supposed to do this. And she's giving me all this kind of stuff and telling me all this stuff. And I go, oh, wow. Yes. So anyway, after we did it she did it with me for a couple, like 6 months. Every so often I come down and she says, okay, do a reading for me. I go, well, I don't want to. And she goes, yeah, you're going to do one right now.
Oh my!
And I said, why do I have to do this? And she goes, I don't know why you have to do this. Why do you think you have to do this? Because then I learned how to do it with the astrology, with the pages of Schuster. I would do this reading, the basic reading with the client sitting by my table, and then I'd look at their chart, and it would verify the reading. And I wouldn't read it first. I wouldn't look at the chart first. I would just do the reading. And then all of a
Oh,
sudden, I'd look at the chart, and there it was. Same thing. That
wow.
was, yeah, that was
Yes,
weird. The
yes,
first couple times, that was real weird.
yes, yes. Well, when I was,
You know what I mean?
yes, well, I didn't do the work or anything, but my husband would have these charts all around,
Uh-huh.
and I
Uh-huh.
would look at him and I would tell him this and I would tell him that. And he goes, well, what are you doing? Reading my books? I said, no, I'm just looking at this thing here where all the planets are and everything and how it's relating to this person. And but if I did the cards on that chart, okay, it
Mhm.
would come out exactly like he would be letting them know. You know what I mean?
Right.
Except for
Yes.
the progressive part. I would even that sometimes I amazed them. And the other thing is really kind of weird is because we have connected. I connect with so many different people, but like you're an old friend or an old soul friend. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Click with people. Your mother had some sort of influence on you. My mother had
Yes.
influence on
Mm-hmm.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing about my mentor told me, never only give what you're seeing, what you're getting. Okay, that always made a big impact on me, and it was like a golden rule: never give more, never give less. Less, give what you got.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And that I get. To me, sometimes it's very amazing when you do connect. You know what I mean? With
Yes.
somebody, and you know it. Me, I get. It feels like angel wings are fluttering their wings on me, and I can feel that breeze. You know what I mean? And I
Yes.
get chills from it. When I know, boom, I hit it good, and I help this person because it's almost as if it's a ray of sunshine brought out. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's all very, very interesting, and we have about 3 minutes left. So, did you want to add anything before we?
I want to add something that you don't know. I don't know if you know this, but you're a 9 path
Yes.
numerologically, and I'm a 9. Did you know that?
Really? No,
We're
I
both
didn't know
9s.
that.
Yes. It just came to me the other day, a couple days ago.
Wow, that is
Yeah.
so cool. I'd like to find out Peg's because me and Peg click too, and I've got to find out what what number she is because it's really pretty amazing. And 9 is like so close to the beginning again. Do you know that?
Well, 9 is the 9 path is about integrity. It's about
Yes.
so many things, pulling it all together. Okay,
Okay.
more spiritual than anything else.
Yes.
Meaning like I don't know how you are, but something came to me the other day. I know a lot of 8s who are very focused on making money and that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
I never thought about making money. I mean, if I make money, I'm fine. And I'm not saying I don't like it. Yeah, it's fine. But it's not like I'm focused on it. I'm focused on how I can help others or how I can help grow myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, and it's not a monetary kind
No,
of
it's not.
thing.
But it comes. It does come.
Yes, yes, and in the most delightful ways, I should say.
Yes, yes.
And it comes when it's needed too. And that's
Absolutely.
the reason for us doing this is because the drawing that is because some pay would be nice, some sort of sharing of the caring, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it's where anybody really can kind of participate because all you have to do is it's $5 or more, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it would be a tremendous help because we use programs. We take our time out to do what we're doing, and
Yes.
we really don't ask for much. We just want that'll help us with getting more chart wheels, getting more word out there, sharing of it, that kind of thing. The sharing has to take place, and
and sharing takes time.
yes. So we're in no rush.
No, it isn't. Seriously, it isn't. And you know what? I have to give you some little tidbit here. I went. A couple of women invited me to dinner last night, local people that I know, and I don't know them very well, but whenever I see them, I give them a little tidbit. Something comes to me every time I said, oh, so you're going through this, or you're going through that, and blah, blah, blah. And every time I would walk into where they work, or they would say something to me, and I'd say something out of nowhere. It would come, and the one woman goes, what did I tell you? That's exactly what I told you. And I'm telling her the same thing. And it wasn't that I was thinking about it, just popped in my head. I thought, why am I saying this? And they invited me to dinner and paid for dinner.
Oh,
and I thought that was so kind.
Yes.
It was so kind.
Yes, exactly. And it does come back to us. And if
that's why I'm saying, I love doing this now. You know what I'm saying? I love it because it's bringing this sparkle back. Okay, I don't know how to describe it. It's a sparkle. Yeah.
Yes, and we want others to know that. I don't know if we will get back into doing classes or whatever, but we do. We want others to know that you can do this too, and if we can help you, we'll help you.
Yes.
So come check us out. We hope to have more ideas and things to put out to you. We called this the here and there, and we both shared a little bit here, but we're running out of time. So
okay.
I'm going to say thank you all for being here. Blessings to you, and we hope to see you again soon. We're not sure if we're going to do this next week, but we'll let you know. We'll post about it. Okay, so thank you, everybody.
Thanks, all. Love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.